Hi everyone, welcome back to season 3, okay, of the Hot Combs and Popcorn podcast's movie series, The Box Office. For those who don't know, my name is Brianna.
My name is Bobby.
Hi,
And my name
everyone.
is Kenya.
And one of the things we like to do here on this series is review movies and Black culture that we should have seen by now. And at the end, after, we discuss our thoughts and feelings as zillennials, we will be rating these movies on a scale from 1 to 5 hot combs. Today, we are reviewing a movie that just had its little 40th anniversary. Okay? Beyonce might have dressed up as both of the characters for Halloween. It's gonna be Purple Rain. Okay, it was written by Albert Magnoli and William Ben, and it was directed by Albert Magnoli, and it's starring, Prince, Apollonia. We have Morris Day, Jerome Benton, Clarence Williams III, Jill Jones, Olga Carlatos, and just it was just a lot of good singers, a lot of people in it. Okay, Purple Rain had a release date of July 27th, 1984, so it did just celebrate its 40th anniversary. Is rated R for good reason and has a runtime of 1 hour and 55 minutes. So, if you're like us and you've never seen Purple Rain and you're like, what is Purple Rain about? I thought it was just a song. Well, let me tell you, the movie is about this guy named The Kid. He's a Minneapolis musician on the rise with his band. He's escaping his tumultuous life at home with his mother and father by using music. And while he's trying to not become his father, he then tries to navigate his rocky relationship with the captivating singer Apollonia in the club scene that they both work in. Both of them trying to get there, but then there's another little rock in the road, another musician who's not only trying to steal his spotlight, but also his girl. So it is number one reality TV drama, is what I felt. So, ladies, we're going to talk very quickly about our overall thoughts and then get into our highlights and lowlights. So, what did you guys think about Purple Rain?
Bobby and I were just talking about this. We took a total of 10 notes between us. I had a great time. It felt like what Beyonce should have done for a visual album, but has not done because she won't give us a visual album. That's what Purple Rain feels like to me, the visual album for Prince. And I loved it. I didn't really take that many notes because I was so locked in. But I thought it was a great time. It gave drama, a lot of drama and a lot of yeah, just drama, which I live for. So yeah, those were my initial thoughts.
Um, I too would have to agree. I also have a Beyonce-esque note written down. Of course, the queen, the girl, she comes up in damn near every conversation. So we will be talking about her later. The fact all three of us have already mentioned her. So yeah, she'll be coming back around. But yeah, I have 5 notes written down. And I was locked in. I have been wanting to watch Purple Rain for so long, years. I remember when Prince passed in 2016, I was in the nutrition building, going to my nutrition class. And I remember this because I called my grandmother immediately because she's like the biggest Prince fan, or one of the, she cried. Like she was crying. She was like, oh no, Prince died. Da, da, da. I was like, yeah, I hate to break the news to you. And ever since that moment, I was like, wow, you know what? Let me deep dive and get into Prince's life and listen to his music and hear the art and, just do what I have to do. And I just haven't. I haven't yet. And so the fact that we finally watched Purple Rain, I am so excited to be here today. Obviously I've heard the song, loved the song, and seeing it in action, I was just like, I cried. A single tear, just like, wow. He only wants to see you laughing in the purple rain. Yeah, so I did have a good time. Um,
It sounds like it.
yeah,
Look like
that's
it.
all I have to say right now. We'll get into it. I have more to say, but that's it for now.
I don't think y'all understand. Bobby has been pitching for us to do Purple Rain since like season one. Like for the longest time. So this is
This
a
is so important.
yeah.
And it was meant to happen right now. Because like I said, they just celebrated their 40th anniversary. And Beyonce dressed up like them. So like, although just for the record, we picked this movie to be filmed before Halloween. So this was not because of Beyonce. But I will say, my notes, one of the, I don't know if it's like it's not a highlight or low light, but like my overall thoughts was okay, so clearly Beyonce went to the School of Prince. Okay, clearly that is how she learned how to perform. Her Halloween costume makes so much sense now. Makes sense why she was half naked. I was like, oh, that's a choice. That's cute. And I was like, oh, because old girl got in the water. A lot of cultural things started to come together. I can definitely say I am guilty of being a child of SpongeBob SquarePants and Raven Baxter. So when I heard of this movie, I was like, so what came first, the chicken or the egg? I did not know this was a movie. And I was like, this is a perfect timing movie. It has Oscars and all that good stuff. Like, we've been talking about this whole season of these long, drawn out movies. And honestly, I feel like this was like the perfect time. The perfect timing completely for a movie. So I enjoyed myself. But we kind of discussed before filming this that we have like a total of 10 notes between la notas between us. Okay. And I didn't write any notes. I have thoughts that I can add as notes, but I think instead of maybe doing highlights and lowlights, we should just talk about how because it doesn't seem like there's going to be any like particular like yes, no, maybe so situations, but it's still enough stuff that happened in the movie where it was like, I was not expecting that. Like I can say this was appropriately rated R, and Prince was feeling on things on camera. They were having the sexual tension in this movie. I understand why women probably love Prince. I do understand he has the Riz for sure. I was like, wow, I feel like I'm in a room and I should not be looking, I was like, oh, I've intruded. On what y'all got going on in the barn, in his house and everything. How did y'all feel about, I feel like, and maybe it's just me, sexual tension was not on the bucket list for watching this movie. Did not think that was going to be a thing. Like, I know he's a sexual, type of being, and he does all that dancing, but I didn't actually think I was going to feel like a third wheel.
Yeah, I looked away.
It was a little... I had to stop watching for a second. I was like, okay.
He put his hand down there on camera. Like, that's when I looked away.
I know that. Yeah. I was like, were there sex coaches back then? I just feel like the great actors like Leonardo DiCaprio and stuff, they can somehow separate that. But I feel like most normal people, singers included, if somebody's touching on your bits, take after take, I just don't see how.
But
more professional.
My question is, because I also was like, oh, I shouldn't be watching this. Mind you, I was watching this at 5 a.m. So I was like, oh, hold on. So I was awake at that point, but in real life, Apollonia and Prince, did they date? Because I could see it happening, like I see
like, how sometimes there are movies where you see stuff and you was a little too into that scene.
Yes. They dated from 1983 to 1984, aka while this movie was in production.
Okay, so that makes sense that you would let him touch on your bits in the way that she would let him touch on the bits. What did you discover?
Now there's conflicting information from people.com. Quote, "We were family," she says. "We trusted each other, and though they never dated," quote quote, I had a little crush one time. But in another article, it says that they did date from 1983 to 1984. So who knows? But there was
But
chemistry.
I will
There was
say,
chemistry.
he just looked them up. So apparently they were close friends and they dated.
Okay.
maybe they didn't date. Maybe they were just having sex. Like,
Okay, like let's just say it for what it is.
no.
You fine, you fine, or you fine, I'm fine.
Mm,
Let's be fine together.
together.
Like
Yeah.
Prince was Mr. Bitches for real. Okay. Like the man, he had clout. I saw a post about Michael Jackson in the 80s, and they were like, Michael Jackson was Mr. Bitches. And I'm like, yeah, clearly the ladies love him. But
Mhm.
damn, Prince got the same energy. And when he was okay, now I'm not gonna lie. That Nikki Please song or whatever, when he started grinding on the stage and the red lighting, it was
Man had a
working on
seizure.
me.
I
It was
said,
working.
he was like, bounce, bounce, bounce on the ground. Do a little push up, turn around, bounce, bounce, bounce. I said, oh, you was, and that moment, I was like, Beyonce went to the School of Prince. I was like, I understand now. Because if you look at her older videos, she was doing shit like that. And
Yeah.
I was like, bro, I think also, I feel like listening to the songs is one thing, but seeing him perform the songs while listening to it is a whole nother experience because you get the live vocals and like his vocals were insane. The fact that he could, I mean, again, although we know Beyonce screamed her little lungs out on a roller coaster and then that's how she got her growl. This his screaming, it wasn't screaming, it was emotion, it was passion. Like I would have loved to go to a Prince concert with my man or something like that. Like it
Oh yeah.
really is a sex move. It's giving the 80s, it's giving sex, it's giving drugs. And
Mhm.
I was like, oh, okay.
I
I
feel
shouldn't be
like
watching this.
going to a Prince concert with your man is like the equivalent of going to an Usher concert with your man.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
Not for me, but
oh,
I love that for you.
maybe
well,
like,
Not for I
for
love that
me,
for you.
I feel like Prince is like the equivalent for me going to a Steve Lacy concert with your man. And I only say this because it has happened one time and I felt like I saw the light. I'm not even gonna lie. I was like, damn, this is
I see for me, so
Mhm.
like who can I compare? I feel like I would probably be just more amazed. Like I would be like, oh, you want to take me on stage? Like I get on stage, you know. I would be like, oh my gosh, he owned me, stuff like that. But um, I wouldn't like try to force my way on stage. Like it wasn't that serious.
No,
Like
no, no, no. I mean, like, in terms of how the girls were reacting to him. You know how
uh,
Usher is at his concert?
oh,
You know, how he began
yeah,
in
I mean, I
trouble?
wouldn't have to worry
oh,
about
someone
that.
with sex appeal.
Yes.
Maybe
He doesn't have sex appeal.
what other, and you know what, while I was watching this I'm thinking like what other star do we have now that I could even compare to that's a man,
I was just about to say,
We
we talking
don't.
about
That's why
because we all know the queen, but a man.
all of the
Usher
you
people
know
who
who the
close
girls
to
would
him.
say though.
Who?
like
You,
What'd you
you know
say?
who would say.
No, I didn't hear what you said. No, sorry.
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, I said you know who the girls would say.
Chris Brown.
Yes.
yeah, they would say Chris Brown.
They would say that.
Okay, he can dance. Like that's it. But Usher can do it
I
all.
in my brain, I was thinking like Chris Brown 2007, not Chris
Yeah.
Brown.
I agree with that.
I'm thinking like young Take Me Down, like when you had teenage boys doing the Take You Down dance on you at parties. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not really talking about today, Chris Brown. For
Mm.
me, I mean, personally, I think Prince is a very attractive man. I'm not attracted to him. For me, I'm assuming what it feels like. Did I say something wrong? Did
No, it was just
I?
funny because none of us are. But
No,
Okay, I didn't know we were walking around that or not because
I'm not.
I didn't
he
want to
is
say it.
attractive,
Right.
but
He
Not.
he is
but not, yeah.
not attract. I can see how people were attracted to him then. and how if you grew up into that like time period, you wanted like Prince and all that. I'm not attracted to him. I would assume like that would be like you said, going to like a concert. I would assume seeing him for people would be like if I was at a concert with my man seeing Zayn. You know, like clearly
You said the magic word.
I and Bobby understands if I that would not be a concert. Like I would just be useless to my man at that point because I'm just not even paying attention to him. Like so I can definitely see why everybody was in open relationships and everything in the 80s. Cause I mean, when you got people like Prince and stuff performing the way he was, and you on drugs and you on everything in the world and it's hazy and everything, like that was the culture. It was big, strong disco, you know, obviously Studio 54 was before this, stuff like that. You know, it's a vibe. I think he's the first, maybe one of the first original, like, it's a vibe, like club vibe type things. It ate. All the other songs, which again, I did not know. I did not know Doves Cry was from this movie. I didn't know the album was after the movie. I
The
thought
album
maybe
is literally, yeah.
I didn't know they were connected because I didn't know a movie existed because I was watching SpongeBob when I was a child. I keep trying to tell you, I was not in adult things. Okay, I was watching horror and That's So Raven, and that was it. So
wait, so are you saying you didn't know the song When Doves Cry, or like you just didn't know?
I didn't know the album was based off of a movie. I didn't know the movie existed. I knew the songs. I knew Purple Rain. I knew all the songs that played, but I didn't know the movie existed. I maybe found that out like 3 years ago that there was a Purple Rain movie, probably around the time that he passed away. That's not 3 years ago, but we're gonna pretend like it is.
Probably like 8.
To make right to make me feel better. That was 3 years ago. You know, around that time is when I learned, but like if you're not listening to specific people outside of your parents, you're not gonna know their biography. Like I didn't know, but I'm glad I know now, and I really enjoyed it.
It's crazy. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's fine. Go ahead. I'll wait.
I was gonna say it's crazy though because I was just looking it up and I didn't realize how close the movie and the album came out to, like from each other, because like the album was in June and the movie came out in July of the same year. Like he really said visual album, and I love that.
He said visual album. And you know what? While we're here, I'm glad you said that because I really love when musicians act in a movie kind of like an alternate reality of their current life. You know? It's just I just love it. You know? And he was doing it like, "Oh yeah, I'm this torn individual. I'm this tormented musician with these crazy parents." Is he actually biracial? I meant to look that up, but I forgot. Is he?
I don't know. I know his dad is the guy from Tales from the Hood.
Yeah.
It's all that I kept seeing this whole time was Tales from the Hood. The dad. He's like evil in everything he plays.
Oh, he is mixed. However, he identified as Black.
I assumed he was black and white, and that's why they had his parents black and white.
Right. I just oh yeah, my dad is Black and Italian. That's what he said. Okay, well, either way, the man, I don't know, light mix, light skin, whatever. But yeah, I really like the take that he did, and I feel like a lot of musicians, they have more fun doing roles that they know about already and are similar enough, but not exactly their life story. They really have a lot of fun with it, and they just really go all in. And you get to perform, so it was kind of like the best of both worlds. I really like seeing this part of Prince. I honestly don't know much about his personal life. I don't know like if his dad was abusive, like the whole like suicide thing. I don't know, a little crazy. I don't know anything about his dating history for real. But you know, I can tell that he really went all in. This felt like a passion project, and they had some good stuff. I don't know, like he was shocking me when he smacked Apollonia across her face. I was like, oh no, he's falling down the same path as his dad.
I said, ain't no way. When he smacked her, I said, how do I sensitively say ain't no way? Ain't no fucking way.
Ain't no way.
Like, I get it, but also like he was still kind of like a little abusive after he slapped her. Like they was still like when they came and met each other at the motor when they was like by the motorcycle and stuff, and he was still like throwing her down, finna punch her, and I was like,
no, resist.
Resist.
You are not your past.
But to be fair, Apollonia, first of all, she low-key pissed me off.
I cannot get that name. Apollonia.
Apollonia.
That in my head.
She annoyed me many times throughout this movie. Because ain't no, and I'm not trying to shame her, but why are you getting on? First of all, okay. Remember the scene where she was drunk with Morris, who I will be going back to because I loved his character. Morris. And he shows up, Prince shows up on the motorcycle, and he's like, get on. And she runs, and then she like turns, and then she gets on the bike. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, why are you getting on the bike? This man just smacked you the night before or something like that. Now you're in a girl group, you're living your dreams, woody woo, and you're just gonna get on his bike for what? He didn't even apologize, first of all.
Yeah.
He didn't apologize to you. He didn't apologize to the girls in his group who he said that their songs were stupid and that he used their song. It's
a man.
Like a man. Like, what are you doing?
Also, something that I didn't realize, Prince is 5'2". And I did not realize that. I always knew he was short.
5'2"? How are you shorter than Kevin Hart?
So I had not brought that up to be that type of problem. But
I just feel like when men are shorter than me, it's like, why? I don't know.
First of all, there will be no 5'2" slander on this podcast, okay? Because I am 5'1.5". And
you and Prince are looking at
it.
That's cute.
First of all, 5'1.5" is not short, okay? We're just not as tall as others.
Daniel, I don't know about that one.
Anyway, I just didn't realize, like, he always wears like his little like stage boot and stuff, which
that's why
his it was
but he was wearing them boots, okay?
Okay.
I said, come on, Miss Kitten Heel, you better do it. Okay.
He loves a kitten heel.
Because honestly, people do not realize how hard it is to dance in heels. And like Prince was dancing flawlessly. He had himself a dance shoe. And he was like, I mean, an unstoppable mover. He was just going. Like he was just like a little pistol, bro. And I was like, I would have loved to see that in person. Did you guys have, what were your other notes? I know we had a total of 10 between the two of you because I didn't have none, but what else?
Well, the thing is, now that I'm looking at my notes, I'm realizing that only 2 are about the actual movie. I said one already about him smacking Apollonia. I mentioned one of them, the red light dancing, the Nicki song. I said it was kind of doing it for me.
Oh, wow.
But the 3 of them that can be condensed into one are all about Beyonce for the most part. When Morris is like, or some stage manager is like, the problem is that nobody is feeling your music, and that's your fucking problem. I typed, I don't know, I was. And then right after that, I said, it's giving me the same vibes as Dreamgirls trying to pretend that Beyonce can't sing. Because Purple Rain trying to pretend that no one is feeling Prince's music, same vibe. Same vibe. We're not buying it. The song is fucking good. It's good.
It was, he was eating them up. That's all I can really say. I mean, honestly, so I know also the songs that Morris was like the other main guy, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I have thoughts and opinions about him. But also I know the songs that he was singing are real songs as well.
Yeah, he's a real person. He was like a real performer. His name in real life is also Morris.
His name is Morris Day.
Yeah, that's his name.
I heard of Morris Day.
I have too.
Never seen that man in life. But like the bird and all that, I was like, these are real songs. Jungle Love. I was like,
Oh, The Time was a real band. Also,
Okay, I too was in the house fucking
I know, like,
didn't it?
and I'm jealous. I'm jealous because honestly, our generation, we just want to be at home at 9 p.m. And respectfully, I'm talking about myself. Like, don't
Okay.
nobody want to be outside. It costs too much. Men are weird. You get followed. You can't trust anyone. Like everything will end up on social media. That's really every time I see those pictures of like what house parties looked like back in the day for my generation, so when we were 16, 17, it's always just like, you see that the flash was taken because we was in complete darkness. Just as they say, hunching, having a good old time.
Oh.
They got to have a good old time. Like we was in a house, but they was outside. Like these people were outside. The outfits, the fits, the makeup. I said, that must have been a fun time.
Not a camera in sight.
Not a camera in sight, bro. Like I know we want to record everything, but like so much can happen without a camera. And I wish.
Yeah.
But what I wanted to
be more free.
yeah. What I was gonna say about this is that I did not appreciate them throwing that lady in the garbage can. I said that is very disrespectful.
Yes.
that was one of my notes. I was
He
like,
did not throw her, tossed her. He flicked her into the garbage can. I said, y'all are disrespectful ass niggas. And you playing this role because I don't like you right now. Mm-mm.
and then he went and said, they dumped her in the dumpster, closed the lid. And then he goes, the nastiness. And I was like, sir.
Nasty. But you made her nasty. Like y'all literally first of all, could you imagine as a whole grown woman looking all cute like she was being thrown into a garbage can? I would want to like blank somebody. Like I'd be like, oh, you can't be here no more. Like in a garbage can? Absolutely.
Yeah.
No.
I would have blacked out and everybody would have caught all these hands. It's unfathomable to think what the reaction would have been.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I will say though, even though I did not like Morris and Jerome for that moment, Morris and Jerome were very funny. They were the funniest. They were hilarious. They were so stupid. When he was, I don't know if this was his first like date technically with Apollonia, but they were like at the club and he gave the waitress like the money, whatever. And he yells, "Keep the change." And then he's like, "Jerome." And Jerome runs over. He's like, "Go get my change." And I'm like,
that was funny.
It was just stupid. Like, and to know that they're actually like they're not just actors, they're actually like Minneapolis artists. That's really they ate. I can't even lie.
Also, when they were talking about the passcode and they kept saying what back and forth, and he was like, "It's what?" He was like, "What? Is it? No, the password is what? What is the password? What is the password? Well, what is it?" It was just so good, so long, a perfect timing. Like, if it's one thing I love from any type of movie, it's gonna be banter. I love me a good banter because it's hard to pull it off, but when it's pulled off and done well, it is hilarious. And you know, he was definitely like the little mousy character that was really just the pain in the kid's side. Which I also thought it was funny that his name was the kid and it was like not a real, like there was no other indication about what he did, who he was about, other than his parents and his name being the kid. That was
and
it.
How old is he?
I don't know.
His 30s, 20s?
I don't know how old he was. I know he is messed up for having her get in that lake naked and then tell her that's not the lake. I said,
oh yeah, but I wasn't expecting her to actually do it because if you ask me, it would have been fuck you. I don't know, like I'm not good at that.
I thought it was like you're gonna get in there with your clothes, but you're gonna get in there with no clothes. Like, it's dirty in there. Like you can't even see the bottom.
The thing is, because that was my last note, actually. I said, I am not getting in that lake. Because like you said, she took off her shirt, which of course this is the 80s. We gotta see some boobs, of course.
Of course.
Of course. But then she took off the pants, right? Mind you, she was wearing leather before. Like her clothing was leather. She
Yeah.
takes that, gets out of the water. He drives away in his motorcycle. She's putting back on the leather. Do you know how hard that is to put
Oh, that's
on?
why she was slipping around.
That
On
like,
dry latex. Like, I kind
hello?
of, when I saw it, I was like, I'm so happy we kind of out of this stage of flirting, of people flirting like that. That is not something that would have won me over, like at all. Like, and
Nope.
honestly, it didn't. I don't even know if they were really in a relationship, to be honest. Like, it seemed like they maybe had a little something going on before then, but the movie is when the relationship actually took off. So it's not like y'all were actually like first he taking your jewelry. Number one. First he taking your jewelry, talking about you can't get it back. And I was like, girl, stand up. Like I would have been like, no, give me my shit back. Like, but I guess that elusiveness was very attractive back then, especially for coming from someone like Prince because he knows how to do sex appeal. And I was like, girl, I guess. Like a lot of what she was doing was like, I guess, girl, if that's what you gotta do, like, and
Yeah.
I feel like maybe I could have blacked out during the movie, but I feel like we didn't really get to see her like sing or perform
She did
or
that one number. I'm Saxon. You come taste my
yeah.
affection, whatever.
I feel like it was so quick though. Like I feel like for this to be having a movie of such musicians, I feel like she was more so of just like, eye candy.
Yeah, well, she was on stage. She was also half naked. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, it was a song about sex. That's what the girls do.
I will not talk about the singing of her group because she is a real person.
Mm-hmm.
What's her real group? And that's all I'm gonna say. But they did perform that one time, and I think for me, that was good. That was they
I
performed.
don't remember, so maybe I just won't go back and rewatch that. But
It was okay.
um, well, I feel like the bigger elephant is the fact that we felt like a third wheel. I could not imagine seeing these movies at the movie theater. Like this felt like it's not like watching 50 Shades of Grey in a movie theater. Like I should not be around other people watching this. Like they was just like I said, oh, okay. Like I was wondering if it was just me, but it was getting to the point where I was a little uncomfortable watching it. Like it was like sex and everything good, but I was like, I feel like I shouldn't be watching this. Like I feel like y'all are having a very private moment,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
and it's just deeper and deeper. And like the montages and stuff are cute. I really like the montage for when Doves cry and stuff like that. But then I was also like, okay, y'all, now y'all on the bed and she backwards and okay, and
When
yeah, I
her leg
mean,
lifted over like the arm of a
I
clock,
said,
I was like,
should
wow.
leave.
Right.
Exactly. Yeah, good notes. She
Takes
gave good notes.
Yes.
She
I
said,
said, Apollonia,
charming.
you
I said,
slide.
okay, I can do that. I can do a split, so I can do that.
Mm,
Um,
that was
but
nice.
then like then you watch it and then realize we have to come on camera and talk about it for an hour. So then you're like,
Yeah.
yep,
What I did
yep.
pick up though, which was interesting to me, was that when this was first pitched, like the movie was pitched, they were going to Warner Brothers and they said that John Travolta should play Prince. And I
Ugh.
was like, but why?
This happened during Greece because that's the only reason why they would say that.
It's gotta be because what
He did Saturday Night Fever as well.
He
Are
did
you
do Saturday Night
my walk? You know that one?
Fever. Greece came out in 1978, so it came out before then. Because he
Yeah.
was hot stuff for the dancing movies.
Yeah, he
right?
was
Him
hot
and
stuff.
him and what's the dude in Ghost? him and them two. They both came out in 1978, 1977. So that makes sense.
Did you say Ghost?
That makes sense.
You
The
mean like
movie
Power?
and the
That's
Ghost.
what I was just about to say.
No, guys. No.
Sorry, I'm currently watching. I'm currently
About
watching
Power.
Power. Sorry.
Power was not made in the 1970s.
I thought maybe it's like an older guy. I've never seen it. I don't know.
Oh,
I'm talking about Ghost, the movie.
oh, sorry.
The movie, guys.
I've never seen
Yeah.
that.
Me either.
Ghost the movie. It's Patrick Swayze. There you go. Him.
Oh.
He was very much like, they would, do their little dancing and stuff like that. But no, I was not talking about Ghost Power. Thank you. They do not do that. I would know.
They don't.
I know enough about the show to know they're not doing that. So yeah, I mean,
Character. My bad.
Yeah. Well, I am so happy that John Travolta did not get this role. You will be just fine, John. Prince deserved it, and he gave us classics. He gave us bops. He gave us an iconic Super Bowl moment off of this when he's performing Purple Rain, and then it literally started raining, and it's just I can't take it.
I'm trying to figure out, like, how did they think that was gonna work having John Travolta when it's literally Prince's songs?
Oh, wait, so they wanted John to perform Prince.
They wanted him to just be Prince. Like, he's the lead. And I'm like, where? Y'all not gonna try to find a Black artist at least? Like,
right, in the 80s, pick anybody. Anybody. They're all popping.
I don't see the vision. This is where not every thought is a good thought. Like some ideas need to be kept in the book. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would have been a bad choice.
Mm-hmm.
I would not recommend doing that. And I would honestly recommend not doing that in the future. Yeah. Because no one can be Prince like Prince. Just like no one can be Beyonce, except Beyonce. No one can be Denzel, except for Denzel, or maybe his son. But he made, like, okay, he Prince is Prince. Like, he is Prince. Can't nobody be Prince. Can nobody play Prince? We have impersonators all day, but can nobody do that? But I am interested to know, is there a favorite song that y'all have from Purple Rain? Movie and album?
Ooh.
Let me pull up the album.
Off the top of my head is definitely Purple Rain. That's just the shit, but let me look as well.
I would have to say When Doves Cry is probably my favorite.
That's a good one.
Arguably, maybe one of my favorite Prince songs, but definitely my favorite on this album. I have other favorite songs that are not on this album. But I very much enjoyed that. I very much enjoyed Computer Blue. That was cute.
That was a good one.
Like, he was literally like debuting different songs, even though like they literally could have just came out with the album the same day that the movie came out with and just let it be, Similar to how Beyonce did Lemonade. Instead of even releasing it early, just release it with the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then see the soundtrack.
And now that we're talking about this, did Prince invent the visual album? We know Beyonce perfected the visual album, but does this mean that kind of like an innovator in that sense?
Technically, didn't Michael Jackson also do a visual? Well, I don't know if it was a visual album. I don't know if he did all the songs, but he did. Now I gotta look it up. But to answer your question, before I forget, my favorite song off of Purple Rain is "I Would Die for You."
That's also a good one. Honorable mention, The Beautiful Ones and Darling Nikki for the way
Darling Nikki is, this is just cute. Like,
he put his whole.
He was screaming in Darling Nikki.
He put his whole tush.
Is Scarlett is Darling Nikki is the one. He's like, do you want me because he wants you and I want me is that song,
No,
right?
that's the Beautiful Ones.
No, Darling Nikki was the one where he's
I
talking
like
about she's masturbating. And she
Yeah.
had all these toys.
Oh, I think I might have zoned out on that one, not gonna
Oh, that was a
lie.
good one.
I mean, it was good, but like I feel like they had already had some sort of sex scene right before that. So I think I just kind of zoned out with the whole sexualness of it all. Like
Yeah,
I
that
think
was
if I
right
watched
after
it
they broke up.
separately, yeah, I think if I listened to it separately, it would be great. With the beautiful ones, I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
he checks are made. And honestly, because I know how it was back then, he probably sang that live. They probably recorded it live.
Mhm.
Like you could tell towards the end of the movie, we were just at a concert. At that point, it's just a whole concert. Like I
And it was
said,
lit. Like, do you want him or do you want me?
because
Wow.
I want you. I said,
Like,
and that's the energy that we need. And that's the
that
energy. We choose. Tell me to choose you. Mm-hmm.
in that moment, he was standing on business. He had a vision. He went
Continue.
after it and then got it.
And God,
Got it.
which
But
I
you
don't
know,
know if he wouldn't have not got her anyway, but you know, either way.
So I was looking up to see if it was Michael Jackson first or Prince. Technically, Thriller came out in '83, but that's only 14 minutes long, so I'm not counting that.
mm-mm.
No, sorry, not that. Moonwalker, which was a film for what album was this? A film for Bad. Came out in '88. So technically, Prince was first.
So the rivalry lives on.
Add Moonwalker to our list of things to watch because I've never heard of that in my life.
I've also never.
I I wish that I knew who Prince was so that I could watch his videos on my Comcast TV in 2007. You know, like
Mhm.
I feel like this would have hit going to the music section in Comcast to watch videos because YouTube didn't exist. Watching this on the TV screen, ads didn't exist. It would have ate. It would have
Yep.
took you right. Mm-hmm.
That's what we
It
should have
would
been watching.
and that's what we should. And you know what? But you know what? I'll never apologize for being a child when I was supposed to be a child. So you know, if Cartoon Network had my life, then Cartoon Network had my life. But now as an
Okay.
adult, when we are now millennials, I feel like this is probably the time when we are supposed to be consuming this. We've consumed it in bits and pieces around our parents, but like none of our parents sat us down to go watch Purple Rain because why would you do that?
Right.
You know, like you just find things and you watch them. And that's why we came up with this podcast. So yeah, Purple Rain she was cute. She was cute. Did we have any other feelings about her?
No, but I really want to get the vinyl now, which I'll
Right?
probably do. I have a record player that, I don't use. Oh, yes, see, shout out to Danielle and her wall. I have y'all can't see it, but I got my little wall up there. I do have I have Prince's first album, but now I feel like I need to get the Purple Rain vinyl to really cement this moment and just save the
Yeah.
feeling.
I agree. I want to hear it on vinyl.
Yeah.
Whether how we were supposed to, you know. First,
Mhm.
before I say it, let me see how much this vinyl costs, because
Probably gonna be able
Yeah, let me look.
okay, it is.
It might not be that expensive. It's been a lot. It's been a decent amount of time. Okay, yeah, that's the price that I expected. 34.
$22 at Target. Purple
That's
edition.
cool. It's 24 on Amazon.
Well, I got a Target.
12.98 on the sound of vinyl.com.
That sounds sketchy.
Okay, I'm sure that's before any sort of shipping, so we're just gonna ignore that.
There's a $9.99 owned one on Amazon, so maybe that, but it's probably also
that's
up.
Like
Yep.
Target. I was hoping that it was purple.
It is.
Yeah. You know what? Although I'm
Wait,
more than sure I will get before my birthday.
Yeah, are
That's
you
what,
looking on the Prince official store? This one?
Oh, that's
no.
cute.
Only $22, $22.99. It's beautiful.
That's so cute.
Also $22.99 at Target. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Oh, yeah, we trying to cut down on shipping costs.
You just get the fact that you can get it at Target. And honestly, fun fact for those who may or may not like actually go to Target a lot, Target has a lot of sales that they'll have together with books and records. So sometimes they'll have like buy one half off CDs, buy one half off books and vinyls. So if you, I mean, that's not a bad place. They have a lot of vinyls at Target in the back section, and people never go back there. If you're looking to add to your vinyl collection, like go and see. They have a lot of Target exclusive stuff coming out. That's a very pretty album. The purple is very pretty.
Yeah.
And although I know I'm gonna buy this before my birthday, I was definitely thinking about doing an Amazon registry with just vinyls to have people buy for
That's a good
gifts.
idea.
That's a good idea.
Because I have a record player, and right now I have Lemonade and Lizzo's Special album, which I do be listening to Special. But I want to. It's so cute. Like I really, right now, you know, so sorry for the haters. It's Christmas time, so we have the radio on Christmas music right now.
Oh, okay,
But
like the literal radio.
yeah, it's a radio. It's a Victrola radio. Bluetooth speaker, and it's a fourth one, and then the vinyl. So it's like a all-in-one little thing. And
Oh, period. Yeah, the literal radio.
Hey, Cheetah Girl. Okay, Cheetah Girl. Yeah. Yeah, Cheetah Girl. Mine kind of looks like it's from the 1950s, but that's what I wanted. That was the aesthetic that I wanted. I wanted a vinyl that could do everything. Plus, like, people don't be listening to radio enough. And like, I remember when Prince's stuff came on the radio, like it hit real bad.
Yeah.
So I mean, now watching the movies and listening to the albums are the only way that you can really like absorb music like this. And honestly, something that I was thinking about when I was watching this is just how lucky, I'll say, because maybe they would have done this if they were born today, maybe they wouldn't, but how lucky the earlier artists had of a whole lot of beats and stuff not already being created. This is an original album. Like, it's so much harder nowadays to make original sounds and tracks without copyright and trademark being on your ass. So like, imagine being in the studio and making this, like making Purple Rain and hearing that for the first time. Like, I don't know if it's in Purple Rain, but the scene when they were talking about the girl who she thought was like moaning and she was actually crying backwards.
That was in Purple Rain, yeah.
That's in the song. Like, they don't do it like this no more.
Victoria Monet does.
Victoria Monet, well, look, we know the girls do. I'm talking about the guys. Not
because literally
not
every single woman out right now is doing it. All of them. I don't know what the guys are doing, but
there is a reason why all of the tribute people for Usher were women. There's a reason for that. Okay?
Oh yeah. Well, one of them, Normani, had to get swapped last minute, but she was there in spirit.
And honestly, you know, Normani is one of the people that also probably came from the School of Prince, because when she was performing and stuff, she was also doing the theatrics and all that. Like, I mean, they had great role models. I would love for there to be more people out like Prince and have the voice like him and stuff, because I do feel like, at least from the male perspective, R&B has just kind of flatlined, and it hasn't really, there's nothing different for real. Like, a lot of the songs I Shazam are songs that are older, from the 80s and 90s, like Prince songs and stuff like that. Outside of the girls, I don't even think I have any new like songs by new like up and coming male artists that I just recently
to Lucky Day. He's Leon Thomas.
I literally was just about to say Leon Thomas.
Leon Thomas and Lucky Day are holding it down. Those are the only two holding it down.
I will also pitch Masego.
Leon Thomas could have done the Usher tribute if he wanted to, if he got asked to. to ask. He could have done it.
He could have done it.
Like,
Yeah.
Oh, Duran.
Oh,
Um,
Duran
oh
Ball.
yes,
mhm.
Durant for sure. Durant is he. I mean, you talking about School of Prince? It's Durant. I need to
He
see
needs
his full
Performer.
because I feel like he is one of them people that just don't get like the respect he's supposed to get.
Yeah.
He
I
honestly could have did some of the Usher tributes, but again, was he asked? I don't know.
Well, it's funny you say that because he also said I wasn't called for the Usher tribute. He said that on
A
Twitter.
shame.
And
If
I'm
they
Yeah.
like,
do a Prince tribute, they can't not have his name is Duran Bernard. If you don't know, he is a lot of people, including me, know him from being on the Terrell show. Maybe like season 2, 3, and he like keeps coming back and he be doing the hilarious different songs and visuals. But like he literally dressed as the guy in the pink and white suit for his tiny desk from the Proud Family. Like
Yeah. And killed it.
if we were gonna have a modern day Prince, like sound voice wise, it would be him.
I
It would
would
be
suggest if y'all haven't heard it, he covered "I Would Die for You" in a performance he did.
Oh, perfect. Look
It
at
was
that.
Mhm.
it was so good.
He is and he's been nominated for a Grammy this year. Congratulations, because you deserve it.
Hey. So
I
I
think
feel like we
honestly
cracked the code
they
here.
would be proud.
Yeah.
It's him.
Yeah, we've cracked the code and it's just Bernard. It's just
Just like
Yeah.
Bernard.
So
But
all you lazy girls, step back, please, please. It's
I'm
tired.
just like every part and moment has its time, but when you have a timeless voice like him,
Mhm.
it's gonna eat every time. Like again, he should have been asked to do Usher. Leon Thomas should have been asked to do Usher. Like hello, but
You know,
But
I didn't know.
unfortunately, there's only 3 men. Oh, well, four. I'll give four that are singing, but one of them is retiring.
Guess
So,
what though? I bet you they gonna just like how the TV awards and stuff did Victoria Monet. Guess who
ooh,
gonna be calling? Guess who gonna be calling Duran next year to perform? Now that he's been
oh,
Grammy nominated, Miss
hmm.
BET, because he is like, come on now, like I think Usher knows he has grand sex appeal when he does his stuff. We have people that can do it, but because it's not mainstream, you don't want to do that. Okay, that's fine because Tiana Taylor and Victoria Monet did that.
uh,
Okay,
uh,
did that. That
oh,
cameraman got
moment.
paid money. He got paid
Oh,
money.
mm.
This is what Prince would approve of. Theatrics.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, if only Prince was here to see it.
I
If
think he would
only.
be so proud of the girls nowadays. I
Yeah.
mean,
I think he
I
would
think
stand
I,
up and clap at least once because he
I
was.
think him I wish I wish he was in good enough health to be here. Because I think a song with them two on it together. I hope one day if he wants to do not just a cover, but like a song with his sound in it, that they do give him the rights because like he's not gonna disrespect Prince. He gonna handle it correct.
Yeah.
All right. So I feel like we found a good way to talk about this at Lynn. I'm proud of us. Let's get to our ratings, ladies. How do we feel about Purple Rain 40th anniversary, starring Prince and what's say the word, say the name,
Apollonia.
Danielle? Apollonia. How do we feel about Purple Rain?
I had a grand old time. Honestly, I took no notes because I was just watching. And I usually, if I have a lot of notes, it's because I got a lot of nitpicking. And I didn't nitpick for this one. Like I said, visual album, it was very, I feel like for its time, it was very revolutionary. It got the girls on the track of let me showcase my music in a more artistic way. Um, so I gotta give it a 5 out of 5. I can't lie. It was a good old time. The comedy was there, the drama was there, the heartache was there, and most importantly, the music was there, and it ate down. So It's a 5 out of 5 for me.
Wow. Okay. Purple Rain. I I'm gonna say Prince is a legend. When you say Prince, you also say Michael, and you say Diana, and you say Whitney, okay, and you say Beyonce. They're all in the same sphere for me. And so,
What was your rating?
yeah, so I think I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5 hot combs today. 4 because it was fantastic. I enjoyed it. The music was so good. And this is exactly how I envisioned Purple Rain looking. It looked exactly like listening in my brain.
Correct.
It was just fantastic. However, I just can't give it a 5 because it didn't move me in unexpected ways. I expected to be moved and wowed, and I was, but I wasn't moved like any other movie I've given a 5, like Soul Food, The Color Purple, Boys in the Hood moved, you know?
I
I
was
was
worried.
pushed.
I was worried because when you start off like that, you're like, okay, I'm,
Oh,
he's gonna give it a 1.5. Like,
hell no. That
Absolutely.
would have been
I thought you
crazy.
were gonna put it at 3. I would have been like, well, that is your choice.
No,
Um,
this is a solid 4.
okay.
I am going to give Purple Rain, the movie, the album, the moment. I'm gonna give it a 4.5. I thought it was great. I think it's a great movie to introduce the young folks to if you take out the sex scene. Like, I feel like it's a very PG movie until it's not a PG movie. And I'm not saying anything wrong with sex scenes. That's not why I'm giving it a 4.5. I'm just saying, like, for watchability, I feel like it would be a good movie for people to watch of all ages if the sex scenes weren't in it. Yeah, it was honestly, it was in and out. And sometimes movies that are in and out, they're not gonna get a 5 because they're in and out. And sometimes I just want to have a good time. I had a good time. I thought it was a 4.5. I feel like Prince did a great job in this movie because it was about him. And I feel like, it was a little bit of like acting his natural self rather than like actual acting, which, we usually see that a lot when people are doing their own biopics and stuff like that. They kind of are just themselves. But I can say I understand. I understand why people cried. I understand why I know many people with the Prince logo on it. Being in that time period, watching it had to have been an emotional experience. It had to have been a reawakening. It is dance and sex and money and gold. And honestly, I'm gonna give it a 4.5. It deserves the high ratings that it has on every platform. I highly recommend if you are honestly over the age of 18 to watch it if you haven't already, because it really is good. And I think honestly, I can't give it a 5. It didn't move me, like Bobby said, but I feel like without the music, it would not be as high as a movie. And so the music really brings the whole movie together. Like, it's not just like a movie about a musician trying to make it. No, it's Prince. Call him the kid if you want. Sure, it's Prince being Prince. And it's hard to rate something low from being Prince. But I can also acknowledge um, it was a very simplified plot, very simplified movie. And, it did not engage like my deep thoughts in any type of way. So it's gonna be, a 4.5. Would watch again. Honestly, I would watch it just for the performances. Like I would just watch it, scroll to the performances. So yeah. Uh I think we can say if you haven't seen Purple Rain, watch it. You are an adult. It's a very good time. And it just brings a whole new feeling to the song's name. So Yeah. Do you guys have any other thoughts and opinions about Purple Rain before we close out today?
No thoughts.
No. Great. All right. Well, that's been Purple Rain. Okay. That's been another episode of The Box Office here on the Hot Combs of Popcorn podcast. Thank you guys for listening. Again, my name is Brianna.
I've been Bobby.
My name is Danielle.
And if you haven't already done so, please follow and subscribe to us on both YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. Throw us a like, share this video, and leave in the comments below. I'm more than sure a majority of you guys have seen Purple Rain, but put us back in the moment of when you saw Purple Rain. How did it feel? I feel like it was a very like religious experience seeing and watching and listening to Purple Rain. And so we would love to know how you felt about it. And when did you see it? Did you see it when it first came out? Did you not see it until you were a teenager? Did you have to sneak and watch it? Because I could see how you had to sneak and watch it. Overall, just let you know our thoughts on it, and or let us know your thoughts on it, and let us know what movie you want to see us review next. We are getting to the close of this season 3. So, there's plenty of things that we have never seen, never heard. And sometimes we need a little help from the viewers to let us know, is this something we're supposed to been seeing? Because we want to see it. We don't want to lose our black card. That's the whole reason why we've been doing this podcast. So leave in the comments below what we should watch next. As you guys know, street lights, they are now on because daylight savings time has happened. And although we are still adjusting to it, our parents are not, and they still want us home. So we gotta go. We gotta go. Okay. We'll see you later. See you next episode. Same time, same place. Bye, everyone.